I reckon if it was stripped to the waist, to the death, I think I come out on top. Could help them get a lot worse, for sure. But I don't know if I could help them get any better. Me and the game could like tag team some people. I mean, I love Eminem, but I don't know, someone who's going to bring me some clout.
Listen, come here, your new single, it's called Forget Me. If you could forget one thing forever, what would it be and why?
Oh, I forget one thing. I spat on my friend's floor once when I was hammered. And I'm really embarrassed about that. I don't drink gin anymore because of it. It was like I drank, it was a long day of drinking pink gins and lemonades. And then when I drink gin, apparently I black out. But I do remember getting kicked out of his house because I spat on the floor. So I would forget that. I feel really bad about that still to this day.
I know you guys are very close friends, but let me ask you, if some circumstance arrived that meant that you two had to fight, who would win in the fight between Niall Horan and Lewis Capaldi? I
reckon I would. I don't think it's a strength thing. I think he's probably stronger than me, but I think, listen, that kid's been pampered, my man. That kid's been pampered. I'm from the rough streets, Glasgow, West Lothian as well. I think but he'd have security. So then that's another thing. So maybe he'd win. But I reckon if it was stripped to the waist, to the death, I think I come out on top. But I don't know for sure. I think he'd probably be a bit handsy. But I think I'd take him. Because I'm bigger as well. Like I'm taller and I'm fatter. So I could just lie on him.
He's from Mullingar though. I guarantee he'd say he's from the mean streets too.
I know, but he left when he was, 15, 16? So it's all about how long. I was there more recently. Do you know what I mean?
You had that amazing photo shoot that you guys had together for that tour that kept getting pushed back and everything. Take me into the mindset of a photo shoot like that. I mean, I assume you're the creative director there, right?
No, sometimes I'm like, sometimes I'm like, you're too serious on thingies. When he's not like that at all, he's like the biggest laugh ever. And you're like, sometimes like on his like pictures and like, it's all very serious with the guitar like thing. And I was like, let's just take the piss. It wasn't supposed to be, that wasn't supposed to be a shoot for that tour. We did this like friendship test thing for a magazine, and I had a photographer there, Asia Murata, and she took some pictures of us after, and then it just us having a laugh, and it became that photo shoot. And I think it's great. I think it works out terrifically. Brilliant.
Come on, it's gorgeous. There should be a calendar or something.
Thank you. I agree.
You performed at Dean Henderson's wedding there. I think that was this year. So I'm a United fan. Things aren't great right now. Let me ask you this. Do you think that you, Lewis Capaldi, could do a better job as Man United manager than anyone that the club has had since Alex Ferguson?
I think Mourinho did all right getting them to second. I think that's a pretty decent job. I think you can't, especially when you look at it now. I don't know. No, I don't think I could. I think there's a lot more that needs to change than just perhaps having me jump in and be like, right guys, come on now. I've never played it. Let them know you're there from the start, boys. Come on. Like I don't think I would bring much to the proceedings. I could help them get a lot worse, for sure. But I don't know if I could help them get any better.
So in your position, like when you're going out before a major show, do you have to do a pep talk to your band? Like how are you in that kind of Al Pacino in the dressing room type situation?
We're like very much just walk out, play it. It's not like we're not like, people who do like huddles beforehand and are like praying and all the rest of it. That's not, if I tried to do that to my band, they would be like, get to fuck. What the fuck do you think you are? Like I would be slaughtered like on tour. It's not, I'm definitely not the leader. Let's put it that way. We're all thinking, just because I'm at the front doesn't mean anything. I would be, if I tried to go, come on guys, let's all hold hands and like, really think, let's get together and like pray and like pep talk, I'd be laughed out the door for sure. No chance.
You don't strike me as someone who's going to make too many weird demands, but what is the strangest item on your rider that you must have before you play a show?
I've started bringing a Peloton everywhere with me. Look, you see it? But that's just because it helps me not be as anxious if I cycle for a bit. But other weird things, I don't know. I don't really ask for much on my rider, I don't think.
You had a bit of a comedy beef there with Noel Gallagher for a time. I'm wondering who else is on your list of big names of music that you want to kind of have a rook with?
Oh God, I feel like the game has just come out and dissed Eminem, so maybe like me and the game could go up against Eminem. The game actually sent me a message on Instagram once, and was like, "Oh, your voice is sick, man." Like thinking, I was like, "What is happening here?" Like it was like the game, like the game, the rapper. So I was like, "Yeah, me and the game could like tag team some people." I mean, I love Eminem, but I don't know, someone who's going to bring me some clout.
Clout's an interesting thing. I mean, like, you know, it's a strange time. I mean, like, people are all on social media looking for that, but like, you've kind of scaled back quite a lot on Twitter, I've noticed in kind of recent times. I mean, was that a conscious decision? How are you finding that kind of digital detox?
I wish it was a digital detox. I've actually just not posted. I've still been on it all. Twitter is becoming one that I'm like really like. Every time you go on it, it's just people arguing with each other, and you're like, Jesus, this is some like. It's just it's a lot to open it and have like what like how people got the time to argue with each other about shit that no one gives a fuck about anyway. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Twitter's one that I'm a bit like. That's what I'm trepidatious about coming back on. But I've still been using it all. I've still been like thinking I just haven't been posting. But I'd say it's been good to not post and not worry about that. And we got to a point on the end of the tail end of the last record where every time I tweeted, it'd be a fucking article in the Sun or whatever. Even if it was just like a Lewis Capaldi tweets about small penis, like, do you know what I mean? Fans hilarity ensues or whatever, like, and it was just like I can imagine being like a punter and constantly seeing that and being like, this Lewis Capaldi guy's doing my fucking in. So I was just like, let's just give people a bit of a break from seeing my name everywhere and all the rest of it. And I think it's for the best for all parties involved. But yeah, we'll be coming back, and I'm a bit nervous to be coming back because it's like putting yourself out there again in a big way. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
You've played Ireland so often at this point, all kinds of different shows, whether opening for acts or kind of small pub gigs or huge gigs of your own. Is there anyone in particular that stands out to you for any particular reason, like you kind of hold in your heart at this time?
And Irish shows, yeah.
Yeah.
The first time we played, and the only time I've played Electric Picnic. The first time I played in Ireland, full stop. First time I'd ever been to Ireland. I didn't really know what to expect. I'd only had one song out. I got told that we were in a 5,000 capacity tent, and I was like, this is going to be a fucking nightmare. No one's going to come. And to this day, it's still one of my favourite gigs. I walked out, me and my piano player. The place was rammed. People were singing songs that weren't even out. I don't know how they managed that, but and it was just like my first experience in an Irish crowd and first experience of Ireland in general, and for it to be as welcoming as that, I think ever since then it's just Ireland's been like my favourite place to come and play shows. So yeah, that the Electric Picnic, and hopefully we get back and are able to play that again someday soon, because yeah, it's an incredible gig.
Yeah, I guess on that point, I mean, like, does it feel like you're an honorary Irishman at this point? Would you ever consider moving over here?
Oh, I would love to. I would love to live in Dublin. I was saying this the other week. I'd absolutely love to live there. We were talking about maybe like recording some of the next record there. Obviously, we just finished this one, so it'll be a while. But next album, I do want to, because we still recorded this one in a lot of like Scotland for the most part. So I'd like to kind of venture out into somewhere and go somewhere for a bit. And Dublin and Ireland in general is definitely high on that list. So yeah, I don't know about honorary Irishman. I think, and that you've got enough people claiming that they're Irish across the world. I don't want to be adding to that. But yeah, I definitely feel very welcome when I'm there. And I just feel like Scottish people and Irish people, there's a very strong connection anyway. And yeah, I love it there. So yeah, for sure, I could definitely see myself over there at some point. I'd have to live there for a wee bit, like a couple of months, and see how it is actually living there. But just from like being there and all the rest of it, it seems like it'd be a fucking great place to live.